Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise. Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jay Mornett. I'm joined now by Michelle Hickey and Jody Trendler. They're co-founders of the Resiliency Institute. So welcome.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to hearing more about what you've been up to since the last time we chatted. But I'm going to start with you, Jody. Give us a refresh on the Resiliency Institute. What is it? What do you do?
Well, thank you. So we are almost 6 years old, and we're a nonprofit, and what we do is we teach people how to live resilient lifestyles and build resilient landscapes and communities. It's based on permaculture, is the design method that we use, and what that means is it's a method that's based on nature observation. So we look at nature, see what nature is doing, and then we imitate that in order to work with it as opposed to against it, so that it creates closed loop systems. And it's all about making connections and viewing everything together. So.
Interesting. I love the way you say it's working with and not against, which, you know, we have one planet, one Earth, right? So
yeah,
we need to work with her.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Michelle, talk a little bit about the programming and the classes, because you offer a lot of courses. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we have 3 main courses that run year-long and once a month. We have the Edible Wild Plant Certificate course, which we've been offering since we started and is very popular. And it's an opportunity for people to learn to identify about 200 wild edibles and then learn to forage. And forage is something a lot of people are really interested in right now. And then we have Bioregional Herbalism, which helps people connect to the medicine in the plants that are all around us. I mean, many of these plants are right outside your front door, living in your lawn.
Interesting.
And then we also have Permaculture Forest Gardener, where people can learn what permaculture is and then how to use that design to create an edible forest garden where they can transform their existing lawns into an edible woodland. And then, so those are our year-long classes. And then we also offer a Shinrin-yoku walk, which is a mindfulness practice that the Japanese developed in order to increase well-being, health, and happiness. And that is a nature connection guided walk that we provide. Jody and I are both certified forest therapy guides. And so we offer these walks to help people connect their senses to nature and become more mindful.
And now, where would you do that?
Forest preserves, park districts. So we basically take you for a 1 to 3 hour walk in a forest and really slow you down and get you to really connect with what's going on around you. So it's about the journey, not the destination. We may walk a 1/4 mile in 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
I could manage that.
So we do offer introductory walks on Fridays, the first Friday of the month, so that people can come and, you know, experience it. And it's right on the Riverwalk, so it's very accessible and it's fun, and it's a way to be introduced to the practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what do people do after they take your courses? Because, I mean, they all sound very interesting, obviously very nature-oriented, right, and understanding what everything is around us. But what do you see from folks when they've taken a course with you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So a lot of times people are working on transitioning their own properties. So it's amazing how many people who are out there working and growing all this food in their own yards and becoming more sustainable. We've had people who are starting their own permaculture CSA, so doing a permaculture farm and doing a CSA based on that.
A CSA, I'm going to interrupt you. What is a CSA?
So a community supported agriculture. So it's a farmer's, think of kind of like a farmer's market. So she'll be growing her vegetables and selling them. So, but it's all based on permaculture and perennials.
Okay.
We've had a student who is starting projects in Chicago. So doing a forest garden in Chicago, and she's also taken the initiative and is leading walks. So she's taken her classes and knows how to teach other people. And we've had one of our students who is actually one of our instructors now. She's had several years of experience, but she took our course and just really supports us and is all about teaching other people how to do it. So
got inspired.
Yes.
And I would imagine that you're seeing a good movement in that, right? I mean, it feels like it's very much in the direction that a lot of people are trying to travel in the journey, right? Talk a little bit, because your vision is about creating a permanent, how do I say, a suburban permaculture.
Right.
So tell me what that looks like.
So yeah, so suburban permaculture is really about us helping people connect with nature and helping to develop a more resilient community. And how we do that is by helping people get to know each other, number one.
Okay, get off the technology
Exactly.
and communicate,
Yeah,
right?
like meet your neighbors. But also it's essentially through the nature connection, you know, where they connect with nature and then they care more about what's going on in nature and what's going on in their own lives, and it helps transform how they're living within their own community. But a suburban culture, we've also collaborate with a lot of organizations who are doing good works within our community, who are helping to move forward initiatives that are bringing us closer to nature. So Sustain DuPage, Forward, Sierra Club, City of Naperville Park District, DuPage County Forest Preserve. So we collaborate with all of those organizations to try to grow more renewable energy, more energy efficiency, more green transportation, you know, different initiatives growing food security, right? So we're on food security task forces, things like that, that we are working together in a collaborative environment to create a place where people can have a healthy, happy, resilient life.
That's wonderful. And I love the fact that you're collaborating with, you know, we've had the great opportunity to talk to a couple of those organizations who have also mentioned you and talking about creating that together. Jody, talk a little bit, if you would, about the food security, because that's obviously, we talk a lot on the show about food insecurity for a lot of our residents. Talk about food security.
Yes.
And what you're doing.
So we are involved with the DuPage County Coalition that's working on that issue. But our primary outreach that we do is our Growing Food Security campaign. And essentially what we're doing, our mission is to transition lawn, open, unused, underutilized lawn space, and to essentially think of an edible park. So we are creating parks that you can wander through, and as you walk down the path, you know, you can pick your strawberries or raspberries or peaches, cherries. So essentially open edible places where people from anywhere can come and have access to local, organic, healthy, nutrient-dense food. We've got a couple of projects that have been built with many volunteers, thankfully. And a lot of sponsorship. So we have our one project, the Ferry Forest Garden, out on Ferry Road. It's along the Illinois Prairie Path, which is on DuPage County property. And then we also have the Whole Foods Edible Forest Garden, which is located on the McDonald Farm, the Conservation Foundation's McDonald Farm property. So people can come out there, access those, learn about it. There's signage where they can learn. And taste, enjoy, harvest, and enjoy.
Well, and I think what's so fascinating with what you're doing, and obviously it's growing, you're continuing to grow, is you're really creating that connection to nature. But I think as much as connection to nature, connection to each other, right?
Yeah.
And the ability to be able to self-sustain ourselves as a community.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you for coming by. Great stuff. Keep it up, the good work. And if you would like to find out more about the Resiliency Institute, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.